Hi everyone, welcome to Self Love Sunday live today. It's really great to be here and I hope you are all doing well. In today's topic, I am going to be talking about being single and independent. And originally I titled this Single and Alone, and I think being alone, like there's a huge thing about being alone, and I feel like there's a lot about loneliness as well that I can go into, but I feel like I am single and alone, but I don't feel like I'm alone. Like I feel very surrounded by lots of people, lots of love, lots of happiness. But I definitely feel like I'm in this place of independence, and I want to talk about that as well. And I think I'll do another topic on loneliness because I feel like you can still be in a relationship and feel alone. So it's really nice that actually this is I'm talking about being single and independent and normalizing that, because I feel like so many women nowadays and men, whether they're in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s and beyond, can be alone and can be independent and single, and that can be fine. Thanks for joining in, Jaina. It's really good to see you. So what I wanted to kind of like touch on to begin with is, so I'm looking at my notes here because I've made a lot of notes, so I want to get through a lot. Just this idea of like, when I was young, I had this, and no one told me this, but I had this belief that I couldn't survive in the world without a man. And it was just this like underlying thought or belief that I had, and that the only way that I could survive in the world was to have a man in my life, whether that would be my dad or in the future my husband. And I think this is probably a general belief that is underlying and there, especially in my culture. And I think other people will probably resonate with that as well and might think that it's also within their culture too. But it's like almost not okay for a woman to be alone. And so I think that this subconscious thought and belief for is it can kind of like bring about, so like whenever somebody meets like a single woman, it's almost like you have to then ask like, oh, are you dating? Are you going to meet someone? Like there cannot ever be, I feel like there can never be this time where a woman can just be single and independent and then that can be okay. And I remember when I came out of my marriage and I'd just separated and it'd only been like a few months, and people were already asking me like, oh, are you ready to date? Are you ready to like meet someone else? And I just found it so weird. Like I just found it so strange because I just couldn't get the concept of like meeting someone else. Like I just had got out of a relationship and I just needed to be alone. I needed time for myself. And that was really valuable, important to me, that I just needed to give myself my full awareness and attention and love in order to be able to, first of all, heal from what I had experienced and been through, and to also then recognize like, how do I want to move forward being alone and not being in a marriage. And I think if anyone out there is like going through or coming out of a long-term relationship, I would definitely recommend giving yourself like at least 6 months to process like what you've been through, and how you would like to move forward, and to really get to know yourself, to fall in love with yourself before you start to try to find love from others, and in terms of romantic love. And so I kind of have, after that experience, I kind of thought, like, why are we always questioned by society about meeting someone? And can we just be single and independent? And definitely like a yes. And I just want to normalize that here right now in this live with you all, whoever's watching, whether you're watching now or whether you're watching it as a recording, to just know that it's okay to be single and independent for however long you need that to be. So Yanni says, yes, I agree. Yeah, totally. Right. And it's okay. It's okay. And you can have all the time in the world, or in that time you could date if you want, see how it goes. But actually, maybe you might find that you just feel like you want to be alone. And I think it's important to actually get to know yourself and to also be comfortable being on your own, and being comfortable in your own space. So I really enjoy my own company. And I think that's really important, that everyone gets to a place in their life where they can actually sit at home by themselves and sit with themselves, whether that is just, chilling out at home, whether that's sitting in meditation, whatever that might be. I think we all need to be able to be comfortable in being alone. And I also had this question of like, do we feel safe being single and independent? Because I think that's another thing where society, obviously, first of all, it can be a scary world out there for a woman, actually. And, like obviously hearing so many stories about things that are going on out in the world at the moment to women for no reason at all, like women being exposed and being attacked even just while they're just doing their job. So that's scary. It is scary. And I don't want to deny that, but I also feel like we don't need to have a man in our life to protect us. We can protect ourselves. And yes, okay, it'd be great if we did have that support from a man, and someone who's perhaps bigger and stronger or whatever like that. But we can also find that strength within ourselves. So working first of all on our body and building up our strength within our body. But also, like, I wanted to share actually like a little story that I heard. This was many years ago. I heard it, so I don't know where it came from, and I'm just kind of repeating it back from what I remember of it. And it's a true story. So basically, there was a woman, and she was walking through the park, and it was late at night, so maybe around 11 o'clock, and she was walking home, and she had to walk through the park to get home. And when she was walking through the park, she just was reciting her chanting. So she was doing her chanting. So she was Hare Krishna. She was doing Hare Krishna chants. And she was just repeating that, and she had God in her mind and the divine in her mind, and she kept that with her, kept her beads with her close while she was walking through the park, and felt safe because she felt connected to God and the divine. And then probably about a few minutes later, another woman walked through the same park, and this woman was unfortunately attacked by a man. And then when the police were looking at like the footage there was like CCTV footage, they were questioning the man. They were like, why did you not attack this first woman, and why did you attack the second woman that walked through the park? And he said the first woman was not on her own. So from his perception, from what he saw the first woman with somebody else, and she wasn't. She was just chanting, but I guess the divine was with her. So I just want to give you that story, because if you are on your own and you're walking home late, and we all probably go out into London, whatever, come home late, we're out and about, that's how we are. Or if you ever feel like unsafe when you're on your own, then just connect to your spiritual side and connect to your spiritual practice. And I think that can give you a source of comfort and strength, if you're single and you don't have anyone with you, or even if you're not single, you're in a relationship but you're walking home late at night and you're on your own. It just allows you to just feel like you are comfortable and safe, right? So the other thing, like, I wanted to also talk about letting go of validation as well, like when you're single and independent. And I think like we sometimes feel like we need to be validated if we are with someone, like we feel like that person can give us validation, or that society can give us validation because we're in a relationship. And I think we need to let go of that validation. We need to give ourselves the validation for being single and independent. Like, it's amazing if you can get to a place where you can be on your own, be comfortable being on your own, where you can take care of yourself, and you can provide a roof over your home, and roof over your head, and you can support yourself financially, and you can just stand on your own 2 feet. Like, that is like really amazing if you can do that. And I think like So these are some of the things that I wanted to share and how I feel. And I think as well, I also don't want to deny the fact that, yes, I would still like to meet someone in the future, and I still have that hope of meeting someone. But I also know that I know myself better. I love myself, and I no longer need to like fill a void. So I don't feel like I need to rely on someone to fill a void for me. I'm also not coming from a place of wounding or, like I said, seeking validation. And I think in the past, I have always wanted validation, whether that's from my partner wanting to validate me, or wanting society to validate me because I'm in a long-term relationship, or I'm married, or I'm in a committed relationship. So I think I've really learned to work through those, learned to work through the wounds that have come up for me, and to release that, and to really then ask myself, like, what do I desire from a relationship and a companionship? And I guess like I would like to experience love again. And when I say that, like, I have a lot of love in my life. Like, I am a mom and I have so much motherly love to give. I have lots of friends and family, so I get lots of love from them. And I have a really deep spiritual practice, so I get a lot of love from there. So I think it's important that you try and find love in lots of different areas of your life, because there's not just one type of love. Like, when you think of the word love, like, I think we all think of romantic love, but romantic love is just like one sort of area of love. There's so many other ways that we can find love and experience love. But yeah, I do have that desire for one day to experience romantic love, and I feel like to experience it again, and I know that it will be different, and my heart will grow and open in different ways that it hasn't grown and opened before. So it'd be nice to experience that and to allow my heart to have that journey. But yeah, I think I know that I definitely would like to find a companionship where it serves my soul, right? And I think now that I've been on this journey and I've learned so much more about myself, and I've learned to connect to my soul and what my soul wants. So yeah, if I'm going to be with anyone, I know it needs to serve my soul in that way. So I think you need to get grounded into the root desire of if you want companionship, or if you're being single and independent and that's how you want to be for the rest of your life. That is like completely normal and okay, and totally validate that as well. And yeah, and then if you do want to be in companionship, just make sure it's not coming from a place of wounding, and that it's coming from a desire to experience true, authentic love. So those are kind of like some of my thoughts on being single and independent, and I just want to normalize it and know that it's okay, whether, again, like I said before, whether you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, it's okay to be single, right? It's okay. And yeah, I hope this kind of resonated with you if you're watching, and I will be back here again next Sunday with another topic, just to really take us on this path of self-love, to really find a sense of deep love and companionship with ourselves first. Like, this is my desire for everyone that comes onto these sessions, and this is the reason that I do these videos, is for you all to take that away, to really find a deep sense of love and connection with yourself first, before you find that love with another. Yes, I'll be again live next week. And also, if you can, please do share these videos. I'll save it onto my profile so you can watch it back. It'll also be on YouTube, where you can like rewind and fast forward and watch it over again. But do share it with your friends and family. But otherwise, have a really good Sunday, and I look forward to seeing you here next Sunday. Take care. Bye.